Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to use the histogram and the info panel to correct our photos using levels. Okay, so our first picture here is the no contrast we talked about. We also know that a histogram displays a full range of tones from shadows to midpoints to highlights. We see that most of the data is contained more in the mid area, maybe a little bit more to the brighter side. We know that we're missing data from the highlights. We're missing data from the shadow area. And what we need to do is we need to correct that. How do we correct that? Now, remember the enhance menu is permanent. So anytime you make a change, you may need to save the file with a new name, such as any of the things that you use, levels, contrast, or whatever. Okay, and you can't duplicate the background, as you can see here, because it's in 16-bit mode. And remember with me, my goal is to get you in 16-bit as far as possible. If you want to use 8-bit, that's fine, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But you can use the Enhance menu. So if you go to Enhance, Auto Levels, you can see how this works. Okay, that's nice. Undo. Enhance Auto Contrast. No, that's not working. Enhance maybe Auto Color Correction. Well, the color correction and levels seem to do the same thing. So it looks nice. Okay, that's fine. So let me refresh my histogram so I can get the most updated review or preview. And now we're going to double click on the lock here. Or if we want, we can go to Enhance. We'll do this one first. Enhance, Adjust Lighting. Now, normally it shows you pick shadow and highlights, then brightness, then levels. In a picture like this, I'd start with levels first and then follow it by shadow and highlights if I need to. Rarely do I use brightness and contrast because it's like a across the board kind of command. Okay, whereas at least with levels I can set shadow, highlight, and midtone. And then a future tutorial I'll show you how they use the curves, which is the best tool of all. Okay, so let me choose levels. Remember, this is 16-bit mode, so any changes we make here are going to be permanent to this. Okay, and this is the levels panel. There's three ways of attacking this. We could bring in the shadow slider to the right till we see just data, and we can do the highlight. That's one way. If you make a mistake, just click resets, no problem. You also have the auto function in here. You can click auto. That's nice. Click reset. You can also press the alt key and move the shadow, which will show you the first piece. There you go. You see that? That's light blue. That's the first thing that's going to be clipped in the photo. So maybe you want to back off a little there, or maybe just a little bit more. Depends on the photo. Okay, and then you would do the same thing for the highlight. Move that in a little, and you can see the red channel is going to be clipped. Maybe just a little there. See, that's not that good. Excuse me. I'm going to reset. You also have the ability in levels to use eyedroppers. So let's say first you can set your black point. I probably would have, being that I looked at this photo and you know, I took the photo. I knew that this was dark, so I can click here, and I can set the white point, which I'll set that snow that was over here, and that's still a little bit over the top. And maybe I can click on the dome here, iron it out a little. Okay. So this is one way. So you can see there's different ways of approaching levels. Now let me show you the last way. The last way, the one that I use the most, and I explained in the earlier tutorial under the guided section, just so you know, is the channel here. We have RGB composite, or shortcut Alt+2. You'll like these shortcuts, it'll save you some time. I usually will go to the red channel, and then I will press Alt and move this until I just start to see image data being clipped. Okay, I'll go back there, maybe over there. Okay, then I'll go to green. Okay. Okay, right about there, green, and then I'll go to blue, and press Alt and move the black slider in. Press Alt, move the highlight slider in. Okay, it looks a little bit better. Then I will go to the RGB composite and maybe mess around with the contrast a little there, and then I'll press OK, and then I'll refresh my histogram so I can see. And look at that, we've brought some more. We've brought in some more shadow details, some more highlights, but we still have a lot of in the middle. But we did a little bit better than it was before. Then maybe I can follow it up by going to the Enhance menu adjust lighting, and go to shadow and highlights, you could save it before so that if you make a mistake in shadow highlights or you don't like it, you can always back up, but that's up to you. Make sure your preview is selected. Shadow highlights is a unique tool. What it does is it lightens your shadows, darkens your highlights, but it doesn't mess with your midtones. So it kind of does the extremes without messing in the middle part. So it's really a nice function. And as you can tell here, look at the preview before and after. Before, you see it still looks a little muddy, a little dark. Okay, and also let me see if I can't zoom in, unfortunately. So let me click cancel, click the zoom tool, let me zoom in so I can see this a little bit better. There we go. Now let me go back to enhance menu, adjust lighting, shadows and highlights. See, I don't want to darken it too much because it starts to make it this weird. Okay, maybe mess with the midtone. Okay, click OK. Okay, so now in the next tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the levels in 8-bit.